Today we're going to be testing the NCP1012GEVB Switch Mode Power Supply Evaluation Board by ON Semiconductor. The equipment we'll be using today will be our Chroma AC and DC source. It should be capable of outputting up to 300 volts in both AC or DC. And then we're also going to be using a power meter to measure our input current to the board. And on our outputs, we're going to have our voltmeter and current meter for both our output voltage and output current. And we're also going to be using a decade box as a resistive load. We're only going to be using this for part of the test. For the beginning of the test, I'm going to actually disconnect and remove the entire thing. To begin the test, we're going to make sure that our source is set to a DC couple or DC output and 100 volts DC. We also have the current limit on this set to approximately 100 milliamps. And then we're going to turn on our source. And here we can see that our input current to the board is below 3.5 milliamps. And here we can see on our voltmeter that our output is at 12 volts DC. And for the next part of our test, we're going to change our DC source to 300 volts DC and turn on our output. And here we can see that our input current to the board is around 2 milliamps. And here we can see that we have our 12 volts on our output. And next we're going to make sure to turn off our DC source and make sure that it is off. And for the next part of our test, we're going to go ahead and connect our ammeter in series with the output of our board, and that will go to our decade box. Our decade box will be set for 47 ohms, and the voltmeter that we originally had will just be left in parallel with our output to measure our voltage. And back on our DC source, once again we're going to make sure we have 300 volts DC set on our output voltage. And we're going to turn on the output to our board. And here we can see that our input current consumption is approximately 15 milliamps. And once again we can see that our output voltage is approximately 12 volts DC. And our output current is about 250 milliamps. And for the next part of our test, first we're going to make sure to shut off our DC output of our source. And now we're going to go ahead and change our DC source to an AC only source or AC couple. And we're going to set our AC source voltage at 230 volts and turn it on. And here once again we can see that we have our approximate 12 volts on our output. This concludes the test of the NCP1012GEVB Switched Mode Power Supply Evaluation Board. For more information, please visit www.onsemi.com or contact an authorized distributor.